Hey everyone, this is a video talking through the do now and the practice questions from today. Hopefully you can listen to this and double check your answers and get a better understanding on how to work with these concepts from Unit 9. So let's go over the do now first. This first question we're solving for x. So we know that the angle is half of the arc. The inscribed angle is half of the arc. So if we know that these two chords make up the angle 110 degrees, then we also know that this arc right here in blue is 2 times 110. So 2 times 110 is going to give us 220 degrees. So if we know that this is 220 degrees, we know that KP is 50 and PQ is 30x. All we need to do is set that equal to the total of degrees of a circle. That's going to add up to 360. So we would have 220 plus 50 plus 30x equals 360 degrees. We're going to combine like terms, and I'm going to get 220 plus 50. So 270 plus 30x equals 360. We're going to go ahead and subtract 270 from both sides, and I'm going to move my work over here. I would get 30x equals 90. We want to get x by itself, divide by 30 on both sides. That cancels out, and x equals 3. Number 2, we're going to solve for x yet again. So we know that LM is 13x minus 10. And we know that MN is 7x minus 10. But we also know that these two arcs create half of this circle. And we know that the circle adds up to 360 degrees, so half of 360 is 180. So when we create this equation, we know that this arc and this arc combined, so when we add them, they need to add up to 180 degrees. So our equation is going to say 13x minus 10 plus 7x minus 10 equals 180. We took what we know and we put it into an equation. So we're going to combine like terms here. 13 plus 7 is 20x. Minus 10 is negative 20 equals 180. Let's add 20 to both sides. We get 20x equals 200. If we divide by 20 on both sides, we get x equals 10. So hopefully you were able to get a better understanding of the do now questions and take some time to edit your paradox slides if you needed to make some changes. Let's move on to the practice questions. So number 1, a circle with a radius of 12 feet has a central angle of 30 degrees. In terms of pi, what is the area of the sector? So we're going to use this formula right here, and we're going to take the central angle over 360 times pi r squared. But in terms of pi means that we're not actually going to calculate pi. We're going to leave pi in our final answer. So let's start by using that central angle over 360 times pi r, which is 12 squared. When I get my calculator open, again, we're not going to calculate that pi. So we have 30 over 360, arrow, times 16 squared. Enter. Oops, did I say 16? Oh, I'm sorry, 12. That's my bad, guys. So let me use the arrow, enter again so that I can edit this real quickly so I don't have to type everything in. 12 squared. Oh, we get 12. Okay, awesome. So my final answer is going to be 12 pi. We want to leave pi in our final answer because it's in terms of pi. Number 2, find the arc length. Leave your answer in terms of pi yet again. So let's use this formula. Arc length equals 2 pi r times the central angle over 360. And I like to do this fraction first. So we have a central angle, which is 315 over 360, times 2 pi r. So 2 times pi times r, which is right here, the radius. And before I type anything into the calculator, I like to do this piece first. So we have 315 over 360 times 16 pi. Again, we're going to leave our answer in terms of pi, so I'm not going to calculate the pi. So in my calculator, we have 315 over 360 arrow times 16. So times 16, enter, we get 14. 14 pi. Answer in terms of pi. Number 3, find the length of the radius. So this time we don't know the radius, this piece right here. But we're still going to use this formula where the arc length equals 2 pi r times theta over 360. So the arc length is 10 pi. We're going to say 10 pi equals 2 pi r. I don't know what r is. And then times 60 over 360. Now, how do I get rid of this fraction? We're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Do you guys remember saying that? So flip that fraction. 360 over 360 cancels out. 60 over 60 cancels out. But we also have to do this to the other side. But I still have 2 pi r together. I want to get r by itself. So that last piece we need to do is to divide each side by 2 pi. It cancels it out, and we're left with r. So divide by 2 pi here. But notice that I have pi up here and pi down here. Pi over pi, that's going to cancel out as well. So in my calculator, I can do 360 over 60 times 10. Let's do that. 360 over 60 times 10. Enter. And then divide by 2. Because we canceled out the pi's, we're left with 30. So that means our radius is 30. Next question. Find the measure of angle Z. So we're back to this formula. We know that the angle is half of the arc. So we know YZ and XZ. These two arcs are 110 and 146. We're missing this piece right here. And previously we said that the circle adds up to 360 degrees. So if we just did 360 minus 110 minus 146, we're going to get xy equals 360 minus 110 minus, I already forgot, 146, enter, I get 104. So our arc is 104. But our goal is to find this angle Z. But we know that the angle is half of the arc. So 104 divided by 2, we get 52 degrees. So Z, angle Z is 52 degrees. Number 5, based on the measures provided in the diagram below, determine the value of x. So we are looking for x. We know that the angle is 29 degrees, and this arc created by the inscribed angle is 8x minus 6. So let's just follow this formula that we know. The angle equals, so 29 degrees equals 1/2 of the arc, which is 8x minus 6. So we can go a couple ways here, but I think the best route for right now is just trying to get rid of this fraction and then solving for x. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2, to get rid of that, but I have to do it on both sides. So now I have 2 times 29, which is 58, equals 8x minus 6. Let's add 6 to both sides to cancel that out. So we get 64 equals 8x. I want to get x by itself, so we divide by 8 on both sides. X equals 8. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys were following along with me on your own Pear Deck screens and making your edits as you were going. Now you can go to the next couple of slides and work on test corrections from the Unit 9 summative from Friday. Make sure you show all of your work in order to receive credit back on those questions. Good luck, guys!